and welcome to another powerful edition of Brew. Jersey Joe here, Eye in the Box, live from Las Vegas over there. The whole COVID-19 pandemic thing has lots of our favorite businesses, lots of our fun shut down. We're slowly reopening the country. Maybe that's for the best, maybe it's for the worst. But the question is, what do you miss the most that closed because of the COVID pandemic? What do you want to do that you can't do because the man says no? We got lots of your responses right now. Joel and I have our ideas as well. And those of you that follow us on social media, probably know what we're already going to say. Joel, what do you miss most that's closed because of the pandemic?
I'm going to make it quick because that's true. People are going to know what we're both probably going to say. And that's travel, that's sports, that's concerts, that's crowds, it's bars, it's restaurants. It's just being around people, being at events. And I'm all positive Joe's going to say something either the exact same or very similar.
Well, yeah, the alcoholic in me definitely misses going to the bar. Like here in New Jersey, they're open for outdoor dining on the Jersey Shore down in Atlantic City, for example. You can go outside and sit at the Asbury Park. You can. But here in town still, they're still closed. And on the New York side, forget it. You have to have a meal and outdoor dine or you're not getting a drink. So that definitely miss going to ball games. You know, we've gone to a bunch by now. We said that before. And as you see, we're both wearing baseball attire. So definitely miss that. But things are getting better here in New Jersey. We're opening gyms next week. You know, bowling alleys are open in New York now. So things are happening here. How about out there in Nevada? Is it getting a little better?
Slightly. It's still not. It's not something. It's not where I'm ready to go to the movies yet. You know what I mean? We're getting there.
Right. Well, look, it's a tough subject, but April G702 has a comedic look at this. So what does she miss the most? Get this. Not me, but dudes are hella missing the strip clubs and brothels here in Nevada. Well, I guess it's going to be a long time until you can legally get that lap dance out there, and they're shut down here too. It's not happening no matter how many singles you have in your wallet.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate because I would really rather have pink eye than COVID.
And then I guess the question is, too, like, they are strip clubs, but technically they can't get naked even they can reopen because you got to wear a mask, so that's not fully nude.
Yeah, I don't know how that works and what the regulations are. I haven't even looked into it, but that would be really funny to get a lap dance from someone who's only wearing high heels and a mask.
That's how the Egyptians do it. You know what, though? I'm glad that you and I elect officials, so you and I aren't the guys who have to figure that whole situation out. Okay. There's a lot worse than strip clubs out there, like you guys said. The Rod 730 says he misses shows at the Garden. James McLaughlin, he also misses Madison Square Garden. I miss concerts. Pure Energy Multiverse, well, art shows in theaters. Larry Mock, he misses pro wrestling shows. Missy Crawford, she misses Broadway and the gym. Well, yeah, Broadway here in New York City, that's not happening now to at least March of 2021. Every time they turn around, they keep bumping it up. There's still a couple shows that are actually leaving New York and doing like some kind of virtual tour now to try to make some kind of money. But wow, it is like still shocking to see the video of The Great White Way completely dark. It's just something you never thought would ever happen.
Right. You see all these, everything that happens, all the crazy shit that happens, not just in New York, but the whole country. And it's like, this is something that we've never seen in our lifetime. Like, Broadway is never supposed to be closed.
The problem, too, is with reopening Broadway is those seats are so small, so tight, so compact. I really don't know how they're going to ever have that full of a house again unless there's some type of modification in some. Because those seats, even for me, I'm not that big of a guy. And it's like, you know, I'm not the little people that, you know, we were in the 1920s. Like, at times, it's actually kind of uncomfortable. So imagine being, like, you know, really up in this dude's stuff next to you now. Like, nobody wants that.
Yeah, it's kind of karma for all these companies forcing us to sit in these tiny little airplane seats now. They got to sell, spaced out seating.
I knew you were going to go for the airlines, but you're right. I mean, they pack you in there so bad now. It's like some of these flights are just absolutely miserable. You're so tight in there. And I actually will pay more for an aisle seat or to pick a seat just so I'm not stuck in that middle seat. Never again. And I know the airlines are now even selling those middle seats again, so that plan went out the window too.
Yeah, that's nice. Actually, let's look forward to in the future when we don't have to all be crammed together so closely anymore. Let's try and enjoy it.
Yeah, hopefully it makes some positive changes in that department. Well, what else do you guys miss? Michael told me he misses Rosa Mexicano on First Avenue, New York City. It's been there for 35 years. I believe the one on the Upper West Side is open for outdoor dining, but let me tell you something right here live on the Brew. Rosa Mexicano, they make a fine margarita.
Worth checking out?
Courtney says he misses bowling alleys, although they're reopening in the New York side next week. Vamos Yankees misses baseball stadiums like us. Rock Guitar, oh, he misses Yankee Stadium, obviously, just like us, Joel. And really, Matt Treat, he misses cruises and traveling to my favorite places. Let's talk about the cruise ship industry for a while, because they took a voluntary ban not to cruise anytime. I think it's now extended through October. But remember those poor people that got stuck on those ships and the whole COVID outbreak first happened? Like, they were, 90 days something? They couldn't even dock them into port. Like, whew, I think that would just be pure misery.
Yeah, well, I mean, they left after they knew the risks. That the outbreak had already been news, so I don't feel super bad for them. There was one ship that kind of got stuck. It wasn't as bad as the one that you're referencing. That one was only stuck for a few days, and they left before it became news. But still, those people took that risk and they knew it, and the government still was like, "Oh, sorry, you guys." When we could have probably just sent them supplies and shit like that. At the very least, sent them supplies and something to be comfortable out there.
Yeah, unfortunately, and cruise ships, you really are packed in there. I've taken a cruise before and really enjoyed it. It's been a long time, and I would do it again once they figure out how to make that a little more cleaner and safer. I understand overseas, those countries are letting you on board after you go through a rigorous amount of tests, which sounds like a major pain to get on the ship, but I guess that's what we got to do to make everybody safe. So that's an industry, too, that's really on pause for an extended period of time.
Also true, yeah.
And Mike F3825, he comments, he says, communal worship at my synagogue. I can't stand Zoom. Why the Christian community can worship live and the Jewish community hides is beyond my comprehension. My brotherhood, of which I am a past president, can't help anyone if we cannot function. Well, some of the churches here, and I'm not sure about synagogues, I don't know, but some of them here in New Jersey were doing drive-through worship ceremonies. So they were still able to attend their services. And the Catholic Church, the priest was out there flicking water at you, you'd roll down your car window. And
oh, God, okay.
When Chris would stick his head out the window, you're getting the holy water like that. But there were some ingenious ways to go ahead and worship. So it's happening.
It sounds like some Kevin Smith movie satire or something. That doesn't even sound real.
Restaurants and people had to do what you had to do in this time to be creative and figure out ways to do it. Well, God stops for no one. And hey, there's proof of it right there. Tony's got the final comment on this fine show, and he says, I miss going to restaurants. Otherwise, not much. I don't miss going to the office. Access to food I used to eat in the city is probably the biggest one, but that's hardly the end of the world. Not being able to see family and friends has been more of a loss than any business. I put his for last because he has two very important parts of this when you talk about. Number one is going to work. I have not been to work in New York City since March. I've been working from home here using this fine little computer, working on my little broadcast life. I know you're essential personnel, so you've had to go in. I'm just going to say I do kind of miss not being in the city, but I went in last week and wow, everything was closed. It's not easy to get to work, so I'm saving money on the commute, but I actually enjoyed the people that I work with, so there's that difficulty too. But your work situation was a hell of a lot different than what I had to deal with.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to talk about mine, but I do still have to work. That's the main point. I still have to work. I've never been able to stay home. I would love to, actually. That would be fine. I've stayed home, pretty much the duration of the rest of the pandemic. I don't miss working, though. That's not on my list.
I just got to say, the point I wanted to make with this is you still had to go to work, so you were still getting out, driving your car, and going around. We were locked down. I was in these four walls. The big trip out was me going to Dwayne Reed to the grocery store, the drugstore, or the liquor store. Outside of that, being in here for hours, when you can't really go, you kind of miss that freedom after all. But I get there's a reason why it was done, but it messes with you a little bit.
Oh, definitely. That mental adjustment sucked. That was one of the first things. If you want to make the topic the first 2 months, the answer was your mental health.
But you want lots more fun? You know what should happen? You click on a subscribe button down below because we're all friends right here. The Jersey You'll get the YouTube channel, 4 big shows. There's fun going on for you each and every week. And this thing never stopped because of COVID. We kept going on. We were here, healthy, having fun. We're making the best out of a bad situation as we can. That's kind of what we do here each and every week. And we're glad that you could join us for that too.
Yeah, I bought 30 fucking video games. I really did buy a shitload of video games. And I'm just slowly going through them. You
have been going through the video games. It's actually kind of impressive. You tweeted out a few. It's oh, okay, he's going for another one. So
I'm becoming an introvert now. It's weird.
We may have to give you your own spin-off of some kind of video game show.
Oh, dude, I would be the worst. It would be horrible. I'd just be making jokes, and it would be shitty. Crispin wouldn't even watch it. That's my dog for the new viewers.
And tons of the bleep button too, bleeping out that F word that you have to drop and YouTube says no. There we go.
Oh man.
Especially when you're playing a game. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Zerio, Jersey Joe here, Eye of the Boxer, saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time, my friend.